Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to today's Caffeine for the Soul. And I always feel a little self-conscious when I talk about resilience, which is something I'm asked to talk about a lot in companies and in various communities. I'm invited in as a resilience expert, and I understand why. Is that one of the things that I have become very adept at over the years is helping people become more discouragement-proof, to not get taken out of the game by a disappointment, to not give up on a project because something you tried didn't work, to not assume that it's game over just because you're going through a tough time. And that's why it's always somewhat surprising to people when I often begin my talks or my conversations about resilience by saying that there's no such thing as resilience. And what I mean by that is you can't put resilience in a wheelbarrow, right? We can put my phone in a wheelbarrow. We can put a cup of coffee in a wheelbarrow, but you can't put resilience in a wheelbarrow. It's not really a thing. But we talk about it as if it's a thing because it's easier to talk about. And the problem with talking about something that isn't a thing, as if it was a thing, is we expect it to have thingy properties. We expect it to be something we have or we don't have. We can find or we can lose. We can have lots of or not very much of. But resilience, as I see it, is a word that we use to describe our natural ability to come back to ourselves. Our innate capacity to drop whatever thinking is taking us away from the moment. Whatever thinking seems more important than feeling really present, than really just dealing with what is in front of us right now. Whatever thought about an imaginary future, usually one that we don't want and we find scary, or a remembered past that often, sort of looms so large when we keep thinking about it that we go, oh, I don't want to go there again. And we sort of talk ourselves out of even playing the game so we don't have to go back and feel whatever it is that we're feeling when we think about the past. And if it gets really circular, if you start to think about it, it's like, here's what we do. And we all do it, but because it's not obvious when we're doing it, it seems like a good idea. We think about something that we'd like to have happen in the future. And if we've been disappointed in the past, when we start to feel excited, we go, uh-oh, I know what happened the last time I feel excited. And so we start to remember how bad it felt, and we start to think about how hard it's probably going to be, and we start to think about how disappointed and how bad we're going to feel when it doesn't work out. And so we basically make ourselves feel terrible to prevent ourselves from getting into a situation in the future where we might feel terrible. Which, if I just offered you as a straight-up proposition, you'd probably turn me down 10 times out of 10. Hey, I got a great plan. Okay, here's what we're going to do. What I want you to do is I want you to punch yourself in the stomach 10 times really hard. Well, why would I do that? Well, because then you'll think twice about getting into a fight with the other guy. Like, it doesn't really make any sense, but somehow when we get used to doing it, it seems like a good idea. But the second we stop doing that, or if we forget to even do it in the first place, we're all in. We're engaged. We're present. We're tuned in. Creative ideas start coming to us about how we might actually make things work and how we might actually make things happen. Because we're really present, we're kind of awake to the moment, we notice what's going on with other people. We intuitively sense when's a good time to approach somebody and when might not be a good time to approach them. What sort of approach is likely to work and what sort of approach is likely to be off-putting. And because we're present to it, we do really well with it. And it gets to the point where you can get so tuned in to what's going on that I've had people say to me, God, are you psychic? And the truth is, I'm not psychic, but I am awake a lot of the time. And because I'm awake and not too in my head most of the time, I tend to just see what's going on. And because I see what's going on, I tend to do pretty well. And I can get caught up, and I do get caught up on a daily basis. And I get caught up in a scary movie about an imaginary future, or I get caught up in a scary movie about something bad that happened in the past, or I get caught up in a feeling and I'm like, oh, what's wrong? There's something wrong. Something must be wrong because I feel wrong, not realizing that the more you think something, the more real it looks. The more you think something, the more you feel it. And the more you feel it, the more you think, oh, this can't just be my thinking. And so without even noticing it, we take ourselves out of the game, or we play the game at such a low level that we sort of protect ourselves from failure by half-assing it, by only sort of playing, so we won't be so disappointed when it doesn't go well, because, well, I wasn't really trying anyways. But the second that falls away, because sometimes it just falls away, it's almost like we forget to talk ourselves out of something. Or sometimes we can just drop it. We just notice ourselves torturing ourselves and we stop. We notice that we're the ones punching ourselves in the stomach, so we stop doing it. And the second that happens, we're right back to ourselves. We're right back to the fullness of us. And we call that coming back to ourselves resilience, because it's like a rubber ball. It's made to bounce. So you are made for this. We are all made in such a way that the second we drop thought, the second we let thoughts come but then go again, we experience hope, we experience possibility. We're often get re-inspired and reinvigorated to take things on. We become discouragement-proof, not in the sense that we never feel discouragement, but that we don't take discouragement seriously. We know that it's just the way we feel when we think about things not working out for too long. And we know that the second we stop thinking it, we're going to be right back at full strength, ready to take on, if not the world, whatever challenges are ours to take on, whatever projects we really want to engage with, whatever things we're really inspired to do in the world. So when I say there's no such thing as resilience, that's not to say that you cannot bounce back from absolutely any experience you've had. In fact, it's the most natural thing in the world. There's a beautiful line from the spiritual teacher Ramana Maharshi, and he says, "Let what comes come. Let what goes go. See what remains." So you can let life come, and you can let disappointment come, and you can let discouragement come, and you can let fear come, and you can let upset come, and you can let frustration come. But then you can let them go, because they always will. And when you do, you'll see that what remains is you, the fullness of you, and that experience of coming back to yourself, of seeing that what remains is you. That's what resilience really is. Have fun, learn heaps, happy exploring, and I'll talk with you soon.